All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel, talking about real stuff, real music, and unfortunate breakups of legendary duos. And of course, doing this in real time for a couple of real people out here, just like you and just like me. Before I talk about Daryl Hall and John Oates, as Daryl Hall has said some very interesting things, and it's not surprising though. And Tony the Internet Tiger, he's going to be to blame for the topic here. So if you don't like this video, I'll give you his email. No, I'm just kidding, Tony. I should, though. I should get Tony's info so people can blast him with comments. It's better than blasting me with comments. Anyway, Greg Nagy, this is the real you. This is a bluesy, soulful, organic, not mainstream sounding album. And it's kind of where I'm going these days, if you haven't noticed. I'm going to be showcasing things that are just way off the beaten track. Greg autographed the CD, so I like to showcase that. Go to gregnegy.com. You want to listen to it, it's on all of your usual listening platforms. So, again, this is not a surprising thing that Daryl Hall is saying that basically the Hall and Oates thing is like the Titanic. He says that ship has gone to the bottom of the ocean. There will be no Hall and Oates reunion. Okay, well, and that's that. That's thanks for watching. Don't forget to tip your bartenders and waitresses on your way out the door. And if you're gonna stay all week, don't forget to try the veal. All right. Anyway, the pair, meaning Hall and Oates, have been in this legal battle after Hall and Oates, Hall announced he was suing Oates. Kind of sounds like the Hall and Oates name. Hall suing Oates. Hall announced Oates after claiming that he was blindsided by John Oates because he was selling a share of the business. Now, if I'm John Oates, that's what I do. I definitely sell. And I'm not trying to be cruel here, but Oates' share in this is probably partly a result of Daryl Hall's musical abilities to some degree, more so than Oates. And the more you learn about this, the more you understand that for many, many years, this was a brand. Hall and Oates, everybody knows what that is. You can't get rid of Oates. I mean, Daryl tried to go solo a couple of times. I'm a big fan of the album Three Hearts and the Happy Ending Machine. Can't believe I remember the title of that album. That's a Daryl Hall solo album. Eric Clapton plays on it. It's just a really great album. And I like the direction he was moving away from, like that poppy soul stuff, and it was grittier. And it had a couple of poppy soul things going on because if you're Daryl Hall and you have that voice, you can't get too far from that stuff, you know? Anyway, in a new interview, Daryl Hall called the whole incident where Oates is trying to sell his stake in the business the ultimate partnership betrayal. Now, personally, I think that's a little strong. Maybe he should have contacted Daryl Hall first and said, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And Oates would get some money, maybe, and he would be happy. And Daryl Hall would say, "Okay, you don't know," but he didn't do that. So he just figured he could do it. And the fact that they're in this legal battle shows that maybe he couldn't do it without Daryl's permission. We'll find out because it's currently being litigated. Anyway, the ship has gone to the bottom of the ocean. That's a pretty definitive comment by Daryl Hall. And look, I don't think these guys, which is pretty sad, but I don't think they really like each other all that much. I think what's happened is Daryl has become resentful. he's done a couple of interviews talking about all of the stuff he did. I remember him talking about Kiss on My List and how he essentially just put the entire song together. I don't know if Oates gets a writing credit for that, but I'd have to go look at it. And folks, I'm not looking at it right now. I know people will correct me because I've noticed that people like to correct me when I put out a video because I'm not doing 14 hours of research prior to just putting it out there. I'm just here to give you my take on things, right? And so I don't think this is that surprising that Daryl is saying no more Hall and Oates. I mean, these guys are both in their mid to late 70s, right? Does there need to be any more Hall and Oates? That might be another question. People wanting a reunion. If you didn't get your chance back in the day, and this is what's going on now in the world of geezer rock, as I like to call it, is that everybody wants one more chance to see their favorite band. Why? Maybe you didn't have money back in the day, but you didn't need that much money back in the day to go see these guys. I saw Hall and Oates in 1979, folks. Yep. They were opening up for Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes. They were the opening band. Cape Cod Coliseum. Someone said, "Did I hear you mention the Cape Cod Coliseum?" Which then became the Christmas Tree Shop Warehouse, if you know what that is. And I'm not sure now what it is. I think it changed hands again. But the walls at the Cape Cod Coliseum used to sweat. Elvis Costello said it was the worst place he's ever played a concert. And I saw Journey there, and I saw Hall and Oates there, and I saw Elvis Costello there, and there were a number of other bands that I went to see there. And it was an interesting place. Plus, you had, what was it, the Cape Cod Cubs hockey team playing there, which you had to go see the Cubs play. I mean, they were awesome. It was good hockey and it was cheap. You saw a lot of fighting. So it was a cool place to go. But when they closed it, those of you on the Cape know what I'm talking about. You had to go off Cape for everything at that point. Unless you want to go to the Cape Cod Melody Tent and watch the stage kind of go like this, which I think they're still doing that even today. So anyway, getting back to the Hall thing, this is what he says here about songwriting. The songs with his lead vocal are the songs he wrote. And get this, this is really kind of condemning of John Oates. And all the other songs, which is about 90%, are the ones I wrote. So he's basically saying even the songs that Oates gets to sing, which isn't a very high percentage, but he's saying about 90% of them are ones that I wrote. Ouch. I'd have to go back and look at all the songwriting credits. But, you can get a songwriting credit for coming up with a riff or a hook or a lyric here or there. And, okay, sure, I'll give you a songwriting credit here. And what you're doing is giving that person a good chunk of money from whatever you did because they came up with something, which, if these guys liked one another, maybe that wouldn't be a big deal. So, again, Daryl Hall's been working with Dave Stewart recently, formerly of the Eurythmics. Dave Stewart, pretty smart guy. Almost a genius, I would say, Dave Stewart. And he said his partnership with Dave Stewart has been far more creative and meaningful than the one he had with John Oates. Ouch. He says, Dave is a whirlwind, witty and amusing for sure, also manic. He never stops. Comparing their relationship to his with Oates, he added, it's more meaningful, a real collaboration, and it's based on maturity. Ooh. Well, folks, it doesn't look good for the Hall and Oates reunion. I think the Hall and Oates thing is definitely over, and it's been over since this whole legal battle began. I feel bad for John Oates. He seems like a nice guy. He's not a bad guy. He's just underrepresented in the Hall and Oates brand. Underrepresented. Yeah. I tried to say it, just didn't come out right. So anyway, folks, for those of you looking for that Hall and Oates reunion, It's not going to happen. All right. Before I go, I wanted to showcase The Real You by Greg Nagy. It's a guy you can probably see locally where he lives or where you live. I don't know. Maybe not. But the good news is there's lots of music out there like Greg, and I've been exploring it. And the ticket prices are they're negligible compared to what people are asking when it comes to these older, let's be honest, somewhat washed up older bands and performers. And people don't like it when I say that, but the truth is, how much more? I mean, really, you're going to worry about if Hall and Oates are going to get back together? You see the Hall and Oates 60-year reunion, in the year 2035. No, we don't need that. Actually, it'd probably be like 70-year reunion. No, do we really need that? We don't. So we need something else. We need to move forward into the future. Some of us don't want to go there. The future looks scary. I know. Even the present is very scary, but here we are. Again, folks, thanks for watching the channel. Don't forget to like the videos, subscribe. You can do Patreon, YouTube memberships, all that fun stuff. I do need the support because I'm trying to keep this going, and I've been a little discouraged since I've had to kind of start over. So if you can help, great. If not, it's okay. I've made peace with it. This is all in God's hands, and I'll just leave it with him. So thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.